In this video, I'm going to share 3 tips with you for how to succeed in a new job. These are strategies that I've personally found helpful working in finance, but these strategies can apply to all industries. Starting a new job is exciting, but it can also be scary and intimidating. So if you watch this whole video, you'll have a solid game plan for how to get off on the right foot in your new job. Number 1, be curious. When you start in a new job, the first few weeks and months, your job is to ask as many questions as possible and meet a lot of people in your department. Your goal here is to figure out how you should be performing your core responsibilities, how you fit into the broader organization, and understand the company culture. You're trying to figure out what is expected of you in your new role. You were hired because the company believes that you have the skills and the potential to succeed in your new role, but no one expects you to know everything about the company on day one. You have a few weeks to ask all of the dumb questions. And by asking a lot of questions, people will actually have more respect for you than if you had pretended like you knew everything already. People can see right through that. As you learn, it's important to take organized and detailed notes. I recommend keeping a Word file on your desktop, on your computer, and writing everything down there so you can remember what you've learned. You should be writing down the processes you have to follow, company jargon, and details about the people you meet, because there's just too much to remember on your own. The main benefit here is that you don't have to ask the same questions more than once. It's totally fine to ask questions in the beginning, but you don't want to be asking the same questions over and over. So that's why taking notes is so important. You also want to pay attention to what skills are really important in this role that maybe you didn't know about before. Maybe you learned that Microsoft Excel is way more important than you thought before, or maybe it's PowerPoint, or maybe it's general communication skills. Whatever it is, make note of what's important and commit to improving in those areas so you can be sure to add value in the future. If you want to see future videos on how to develop these specific skills, make sure you're subscribed to the channel below, and please do click the like button if you're enjoying this video so far. Number 2, be reliable. At work, there's really nothing more important than your reputation. So you want to make sure that you're extra diligent and careful with your early projects. And it's probably a good idea to have someone check over your work the first couple times you do things, just to make sure everything's correct before sending it out. First impressions actually matter a lot, and that sets the baseline for what people expect from you in the future. So make sure that your first few projects are of very high quality. Another part of being reliable is being very responsive. So for example, if you receive an email with a question or a request, even if you don't know the answer right away, respond right away acknowledging that you received the question, and let them know when you'll be able to follow up with more information. And then the really important part is following through on doing what you say you're going to do by your self-imposed deadline. And one more point on sending emails in general. Make sure you double and triple check 3 things before you send out any email. The contacts, make sure they're going to the right people. The content, make sure you don't have any grammatical or spelling mistakes. And make sure you've successfully attached the correct files to the emails. You probably put a lot of work into whatever you're about to send out, so it would be a shame to not take those extra couple minutes to make sure everything is perfect so that you can avoid these silly mistakes. Number 3, be proactive. Once you understand how the company operates and you've proven yourself to be a reliable employee, the next step is to focus on adding value to the company and improving things. This is what really separates the great employees from just the good ones. So a few simple examples of this: let's say you inherited an Excel file or a PowerPoint presentation that you have to update on a regular basis. Maybe you can improve the Excel file with different formulas so that you can update them faster. Or maybe for the PowerPoints, you can reformat them to make them look more professional or easier to understand. Or maybe you can think of completely new projects that can add a lot of value to the team. It's also a good idea to keep an eye out for how you can offer suggestions to your coworkers for how they can improve their processes. You don't want to be necessarily telling people how they should be doing their jobs, but if you can offer genuinely helpful advice, they'll appreciate it and they'll remember it. And this next point is super important. If you identify a problem that you have to tell your boss about, make sure you're not just going to them with the problem. Make sure you've thought about a potential solution to offer as well, or at least a suggestion of what extra information you would need to be able to solve the problem. You don't want to put the whole burden of solving the problem on your boss. Your job is to make your boss's life as easy as possible. So if you can offer solutions, that shows critical thinking, problem-solving skills that indicate you might be ready for more responsibilities in the future. And doing these kinds of things can be really good for your future career at this company. So, be curious, be reliable, and be proactive. What else has helped you in a new job? Let me know in the comments below. Please remember to click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. See you next time.